rising home. It's about the rising in 1831, and it's about today. Two Welsh words in it. One is Chwyldro, revolution, and the other is Gweriniaeth, republic. Bring the rising home. Bring it home. Bring the rising home. The truck shops, the loan sharks, the ironmasters, the open casters, the British military, the acts of Tories, the Welsh language then and today. Chwyldro, a turning of the times. Gweriniaeth, ruled by people, not kings and queens. Bring it home. Bring the rising home. The demand for bread, the food banks, the bailiffs knocking, the bailiffs ringing, martyrs on the streets, suicides on benefits, the debtors' courts, the disability assessments, and yet the iron mills rolled where now the drummers beat. Bring it home. Bring the rising home. Thank you. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Hello, I'm Diana Ross. Unfortunately, the rest of the students couldn't make it. This is a poem that goes out to anyone who's had their welfare benefits cut. I wrote it about 6 months ago. Basically in reaction to things like the universal credit scandal and the PIP scandal, where people were just getting their benefits stopped. And then 6 months later, I have my fucking benefits cut. 6 months after I got it. Watch who's in the audience. You never know who's listening, people. Goes something like this. There is no money, no amount has turned up in my bank account, so I dial the number, get in the queue for about an hour or two, and then you say, bear with me. Bear with me, bear with me, there's a fucking bear with me, there's an elephant in the room by a big black dog that's being consumed, no matter breathing, in a paper bag and stop a full-on panic attack, and you just say, bear with me. I get wound up, you start to flounder. Do you believe all of this about benefits crime? Just look, if you don't restore my payments, I will end up on the pavement, and you just say, bear with me. Bear with me, bear with me, there's a fucking bear with me, there's an elephant in the room by a big black dog, I'm being consumed, no matter breathing, in a paper bag and stop a full-on panic attack, and you just say, bear with me. I bet you've got a landlord too, who expects to be paid on time by you. We're all being shafted, tell the truth. All we need's a bloody roof, so don't just say, bear with me.
This one right. Is this working now? Yes? Yes, it is. Right, I was going to read a poem that I read previously, but then I realised quite a lot of you have already heard it, because you were the same people who were there earlier on at 11 o'clock. But however, there are some new people who've come in. Good, excellent, welcome. Okay, the last poem from Des was about getting benefits cut. This is about one of those long fucking forms, which is like about the size of a telephone directory that you have to fill in if you ever need any benefits. I wrote it in Portsmouth, and it's called Do You Want Some? By the way, in case you were interested, do you want some? I have got a book here. They go for a five, will ask me afterwards. Won't tell anybody. Right, okay, this one's called Do You Want Some? Someone from our office will be coming to see you very soon about your benefits. For your protection, all our visiting staff carry an identity card. Ask to see it. The visitor will need to check a number of things to make sure you are getting the right amount of benefit. Do not worry if you do not have all the things But please get as many as you can so that there is no further delay in payment of your benefit entitlement. You must fill in the tear-off part of this form each week to tell us about anything that has changed. If anything changes and you do not tell us, you might get the wrong amount of money and you could be breaking the law. If you are not sure if we need to know, please tell us anyway. Tell us everything. Tell us about yourself. Are you pregnant? What date is the baby due? Are you getting personal independence payment? How much do you get? Are you getting it once a week? Are you getting it once a month? Are you getting it regular? What do you need? Who is it for? Tell us the name. Who do you need? What is he for? Tell us his name. If you are applying for the cost of replacement of an item, please say, what happened to the old item? Can you stand unassisted? Can you tell the shape of furniture in a room? Can you tell light from dark? Do strangers understand what you say? Do your family and friends understand what you say? Can you understand someone talking in a loud voice in a quiet room? Can you understand someone talking in a normal voice on a busy street? Can you tie a bow in string? Can you walk up and down one step? Can you raise one hand to your head as if to put on a hat? Can you clap without using your left hand? Do you lose control of your bladder at least once a month? Do you lose control of your bowels at least once a month? Please show us how often in the box below. Can you pick up a pound coin with one of your hands? Can you pick up a £20 note with one of your hands but not the other? Can you pick up a welfare check? I bet. I said, I bet. Tell us about your partner. Does he need help? Is he away from work because of a trade dispute? Was it a strike? Was it a walkout? Was it a lockout? Were there picket lines? Did he love you? Was he breaking the law? What does he need? How much does he get? Who does he love? Where does he live? Does he want some? Tell us his name. Someone will be coming to see you very soon about your benefits, for your protection. Ask to see their identity card. Thank you, folks.
Okay, well, this piece is about, we've just moved house after living for a very long time in the same place, in the same shelter. It's been a real wrench, a bit exciting, but a real wrench. But the thing I missed the most when we were packing up, I realised, is the garage, the shed, the accumulation of everything in our family, which we were not taking with us. Leaving the garage. Through glittering dust motes, perfume, paint stripper cans, beeswax, mould and rubber, we're going away from the swearing contests, the ones I only heard in eavesdrops. We will be far from the inquisition held about the hidden bag of empty cider flagons. For my heart yearns to see that den of boxes sellotaped with comics, where lunches slopped and sandwiches were fed to the dog. Oh, the dog. The dog, oh, the dog. Please bring back the dog. We loved her, one and all. Yeah, we should have remortgaged and cloned her, just as you suggested. Where else will ever smell of faded graph books? Where else will I be crippled by standing on a small leaden elf? Where are Grandma's terrible dark chairs, varnished with treacle, but far too precious to abandon? I hear the cries. I hear the whispered, "Don't tell Mum." The laughter, the abandon, the sounds of growing pains. You were growing up, and we were growing older. The push of love continues, all the small adventures, all the risks. This was the workshop where our family was made, where Dad could never quite find the right screw, where Mum lost the plot and made up the rules, where we all changed. It's only right, really, that we move on.
Remember 1831. Every day is important in history. Today we are here, tomorrow perhaps not. In time to come we will be part of history. We must remember those who have gone before us, because they are history. We all play a part in that. This is a poem about a graveyard being restored in my village because it has become derelict, with gravestones smashed, names lost. We're trying to restore that graveyard, transcribe the names, and remember those people who have gone on before us. Soldiers, doctors, writers, important people in the village. This is about heritage forgotten. Gravestones lean, names fade, remains of loved ones lie forgotten in the old graveyard. They once walked in our village, raising families, working, playing. Now, as we move among the dead, trying to tidy up their resting place, we wondered if anybody cared. Bones of a man aged 80, here a child 2 months old, under the earth buried away. Does anyone remember them? Mourners pay their last respects. Respect is here no more. Needles found behind the tombs, drug dens, dumping ground. Dignity destroyed in the clay. The old chapel has been pulled down. Only the graves remain. Now, a new life is planned. A wildlife sanctuary, perhaps. Benches for quiet meditation. A clean-up for the sepulchres. It's the least our ancestors deserve. Thank you.
This comes from Red Poets number 6, our annual magazine. I think we're on number 24 in September. So we've been going a long time. This is my take on a typical Red Poets night. Many of you would have already heard this. but there are others who maybe haven't. So I'm going to do it anyway. A phone message. It's Mike. A weekend on Wednesday in the Star at 8. Can you bring jazz? We're going on the train. The Red Poets are gathering again, coming from all around, on foot, by car, by train and flying, always flying. Red Hot Nights coming soon, in a cinema, Public House, Miners Institute, hotel, near you. On the night we're running late, Jazz, his silent friends and me, winging it down the valley to the Star. Jazz, the gentlest, wildest, comic, Christian, ex-con, performing Red Poet, is winding up, laughing and shouting, and dipping into his bag of poems, feeling in the dark for a bottle of Purple Annie. We spill out of the car, surge through hotel doors, a band of laughing revolutionaries, armed to the teeth with poems. We burst through a swing door onto the stage and into the midst of a chant. We freeze. I slip into a shadow. Jazz, in full view, gets flat on his back. Then, with swig upon swig of Purple Annie, unwittingly steals the show. Red nights, noisy nights, anarchic, full of heckling. Circus poets, cool raconteurs, ranters, ravers, slangsters, no gangsters. Protesters, pestrers, hustlers, no hustlers, and Mike, the circus master, Maharishi of the ring. You'll see all kinds of people there. Lovers, haters, council spies, saxophonists and Zen Buddhists. John Davis, who unfortunately no longer is with us. John Davis will rasp in black shirt and braces. Salvador Dali, sticky fingers his tash. Andrews United, Artists United, Socialist megastar on your TV will hiss at you and boo. And the door-to-door poet might ask for a quid. The church clown bows to rapturous acclaim, while a tattooed bomber walks out of the course. Then, out of his smoke, Alan Reese will appear, straight out of a 40s film noir, and he'll leave you, not with strange sporting tales, but with verses in torment and dark. Red Hot Nights, coming soon, in a cinema, Public House, Miners Institute, hotel, near you. Thank you.
Last year, some guy in a hotel shot a load of people while they were at a country music festival in America, and I wrote this poem as a result of that. It's called Peacemaker. Cowboy movies in the 50s showed us Colt 45 power flickering up on silver screen, long-barreled pistols every hour, the lawmen and the cavalry in the street and behind the rocks killing bad guys and Indians using Spitfire substitute cocks. They called it Peacemaker, the Frontier, Peacemaker, Model P, Peacemaker. I went to the toy shop with my mum at Christmas 1955 to choose my holster and my gun. I was the Cimarron Kid live. The Outlaws used peacemakers too. The anti-hero movie stars with their chiseled looks and cars showed us all how to kill a man, up-front guns, hole and corner plan. I chose it, Peacemaker, my silver peacemaker, my cowboy peacemaker gun. A toy to you, but real to me. This is what movies did, you see. Identified an enemy, shot them in Technicolor dreams, false heroes on cinema screens, killing while Geronimo screams. Long before truth showed wounded knee, those lies behind, land of the free. They called it Peacemaker.
The Frontier, Peacemaker. Model P, Peacemaker. Life Taker, Peacemaker. Colt 45, Peacemaker. Las Vegas, Peacemaker.
In the Red Poet quite recently. It's called Mothers on the Door. Christmas is coming, the mothers are fucking skint. Kids want the latest, it's time for a robin stint. Round the houses we go, door to door we knock, everything's half price for the residents of the Rock. Got our puffer jackets set with rips in the pockets, down to Newport Town we go to bump up our profits. In and out of shops like rockets, scouting the shop floor for the Christmas lists and stolen gifts for mothers on the door. Disney socks and Parker pens, Impulse and Link sets, whatever else is on the list for their mouthy little sheds. We make butties of security guards and dodge the many cameras, pretends like we are shopping for our anti-fucking Sandras. We lob jackets over alarms so the fuckers won't go off, and we hide in pissy alleys if we get a snifter of the cops. Then we do the door-to-door again, this time with our lifted stock, and barter with the mothers who complain the stuff is hot. And then when the stuff is all gone, we have a little cheer, knowing we dodged the cop shop and that we are in the clear. We take our 100 quid or so and head to the pub to smoke and drink our profits, and if we're lucky, get a rub.
Tim Richards. We used to celebrate the Merthyr Rising many years ago. In fact, we actually celebrated it in 1981, yeah, which Mike remembers. We had a bit of a riot then, actually. You can ask me about it if you want. Anyway, what you can remember is the red flag was raised at Dowlight, and the red came from blood. Yeah, so let's not forget that. That's what this poem is about. Dros ryddid collasant a'i gwaed, which of course is from the Welsh national anthem. For freedom, they lost their blood. Blood was something they knew. They saw it spurt from severed veins, saw bloody deaths in the ironworks. Blood rushed to their heads when molten ore spilt and scorched their limbs. Blood was spilt in fighting, man against man, struggling to stay alive, just to survive. Blood drenched their flag when they raised it at Dowlight, red with the fire of their anger. Blood filled their hearts, its warm red smell fueled their determination. Blood they shed later when the troops fired on them and their anger overcame their fear. Blood brought them freedom for a week, until money and power restored their authority. Dros ryddid collasant a'i gwaed. Of Anicoch was the flag of their blood. Let us always remember that.
When you walk down the streets of Gyro City, government, what government? It doesn't make sense with all this unemployment about. They're only looking after a pity we spend it waiting for the postman in Gyro City.
Hi, I'm John Williams, and this is a poem I wrote after a night out in Merthyr when I was trashed the next day after the Six Nations. It's called 3 litre, 3-seater overeater. Brains flow down the gutter, brains left at home by the guilty natter. Police glow in the dark like bacterial spots on a latex slide, as thugs on drugs covered in blood jump behind the shaggers to hide. Arguments over everything and nothing, nicotine has-beens in doorways puffing. She wants chips, 5 fighters turn their ships. The manager just in time removes a pricey sign, as much as you can eat before they bend the seat. Open mouths, burning chips, get it fast to the hips. Shots, fags, cocks, bags, pubs, text, alley sex, taxi lights, club fights, arrested, bonnet, stitches, vomit. Screech, yell, open cell, Six Nations, police stations. Mash and chips in the kebab house rack after slipping on a luminous carpet of menu muck. Waves cover walls from an arty piss stain. Pub toilet cubicles contain a feeding frenzy of cocaine. Seizures amongst the pizzas, slaps amongst the wraps. I escaped by a taxi from this trauma-labelled fun. To calls of where's he going, we're fucking one.
Hello, I'm Rhoda, the dying artist. Brown dove pecks at fat balls. You hop on one leg. Throw over the wheelchair and sit on the bench. Boiled eggs and toast wearing thin. Nothing tastes good anymore. There must be justice somewhere. Woodpecker perches where he can reach the berries and bugs. You hop on one leg. There's no compensation great enough. The sky ices over, clouds glittering in the cool air, eyes pained by the bright light. You slice oranges for their bitter juice in your quest for sweet refreshment and wrap the blanket round you. You won't come back. Your job is done. The paintings are all finished and the birds are well fed. Someone will dispose of the pots of paint and your studio will be photographed. The summers will keep on flowering and your absence will whisper through the grass. The pigeons watch from the telegraph wire. You hop on one leg and make your way up the garden path. The sky clouds over. The blood of the revolutionaries will be avenged. Protesters from each generation will follow, and justice will be done. Your battle to stay awake continues. Your voice resonates through drugged treacle and calls out in the lonely kitchen where the jackdaw watches and hops. In the bedroom, the daily battle with nausea begins. The commode rusts in the garden snow. Brambles are cleared so the peonies can bloom in the summer light. You will never have enough pills to mask this outrage. The blackbirds wait on the fence, looking forward to the taste of carrion. The gong is rung for dinner, but the prisoners are on hunger strike and the scent of the oranges is tempting. You will not come back. But your voice will resonate, just as their voices call out, and by God their will shall be done. Your paintings will speak of their suffering. You will be wheeled into the gallery in your bed, and the birds will flutter round your head. The mist engulfing your mind will clear, and a wooziness will dissolve on the deathbed. Birdsong keeps hope alive, and dandelions dot the grass with yellow, and a memory of your laughter softens the ferocity of your rage. The world will change. However many truncheons and water cannons try to stop it, however many prison cells try to capture passionate hearts, there will be compensation and justice will be done. Oranges will taste delicious again, eaten in the sunlight or in the pouring rain. The robin will alight on the fat balls and you will have broken free. No walls contain your fire. The hurt meted out by life cannot be masked. You will not go gently. You hop on one leg, but the birds speak of you everywhere, and a new dawn is breaking.
I'm Phil, and like Tim, I got a book as well to flog, so it's called "You Are Welcome to Wales" if anybody was interested. And find my place. So now somebody who did a lot to keep alive the memory of the Merthyr racing was Harry Webb, the poet. He wrote one of the first books about the great Dick Penderyn. Harry Webb wrote a poem called Synopsis of the Great Welsh Novel. Of course, things have moved on, so this is Synopsis of the Great Prize-winning Post-Modern Welsh Novel. It is set in a small post-industrial Valleys community. To be precise, it is set in a fucking small, fucking fucking industrial community, which is entirely inhabited by drug-addled youths who can only communicate through a combination of grunts, groans, and the repeated use of the F word. The narrative follows the fortunes of four characters. Di Banjo is a former would-be rock star turned unemployed electrician who dies of a burst spleen after a bundled robbery with words of "land of my fathers" on his lips. At his funeral we meet Steve the Dim, who could have been a maths prodigy at Oxford if not for his addiction to alco pops, ganja, the old Bolivian dancing, that's all of the above. He cries like a baby when he is sent down for 25 years for killing his abusive father, drug dealer brother, callous Japanese American ex-boss, or all of the above. Most tragic of all is the story of single welfare mum Rhiannon. Once the most beautiful girl in the whole unitary authority, she has prematurely aged due to her life on the game, having 8 babies in 7 years, a love of crack cocaine, or all of the above. After castrating her abusing ex-husband with a lawnmower, she kills herself by driving her ex-steelworker dad's hot dog van into the former reservoir, which thanks to a grant from the Assembly is now a top-notch aquapark and leisure facility. When she disappears forever beneath the still waters, the sound of the manic street preachers can be heard booming on the van CD player. Some people say they can hear them singing to this day. These events are narrated by Mike, who has just returned to the town with a first-class degree in communication studies and a postgraduate MA in creative writing, in order to care for his ailing grandfather, Tom Thomas, an ex-NUM official who dies on a black line before he can complete his life's work in translation of Marx's Das Kapital into Kankanev. Free at last, Mike emigrates and writes a great prize-winning postmodern Welsh novel, and he becomes world famous in India, America, and 6 states of the former Soviet Union, and all that's Wales.
Where do we find that?
Yeah, it's not about it. I wrote this in response to hearing Jeremy Hunt on the radio saying how he couldn't possibly support the junior doctors when they were on strike because he cared so much about the patients. And I thought, well, that's a sentence you don't hear very often, is it? Jeremy Hunt and caring in the same sentence. So I thought, because there's a bit of a left-wing atmosphere here, I thought I'd redress the balance a little bit by reading you this. And this is about the caring, sharing Tories, or the neoliberal rant. Those poor patients, we care so much. We've got the tender neoliberal touch. Junior doctors have no need to fuss. The NHS is safe with us. Remember that slogan? If you're only half dead, then you're fit for work. Everyone knows sick people shirk. So shut down the wards and the A&E and that wasteful maternity. If you're only half dead, then you're fit for work. Everyone knows sick people shirk. What's anyone important got to lose? Line those ambulances up in queues. It's people's fault for getting ill or old, or poor and freezing in the cold. People should kindly treat themselves and sleep on trolleys, floors and shelves. Nurses and doctors don't care about you, and some of them look foreign too. NHS overworked or overstrived, it doesn't bother us, the rich go private. If folk don't like it, take a principled stance. Blame it all on immigrants. Those poor patients we care so much. We've got the tender neoliberal touch. Of course there's a magic money tree, but only if you're rich like me. Cap wages and benefits, raise the rents. Why shouldn't people live in tents? Sell off council houses, slam that door. Blame the poverty on the poor. If you've got loads of money, we'll give you loads more. No need to pay tax if you park it offshore. We did all that. We're wreathed in glory. It's such fun to be a Tory. Whichever party you're hiding in. The champagne's lovely. Come on in. Conscience trouble you? What for? Just vote yourself a pay rise and start a war. Pocket entrees pay us. Smile and wave. Praise all the dead for being brave. Casualty numbers looking bad. Just slap on a poppy and try to look sad. It all gets paid for out of tax, so just fiddle your expenses and relax. If folk don't like it, take a principled stance. Blame it all on immigrants. Those poor people, we care so much. We've got the tender neoliberal touch. Last verse. 90 billion for the banks, or was it 94? A zillion or a squillion for the Afghan war? Defending our sovereign soil? Nah, it's all for gas and oil. 500 million to wreck Iraq? I wonder if ISIS will give it back, just to say thank you. 100 billion for Trident, more or less, but there ain't no money for the NHS. If folk don't like it, take a principled stance. Blame everything on immigrants. Those poor people, we care so much. We got the tender neoliberal touch. While we destroy the welfare state, time to whip up a little more hate. Time to take an heroic stance. Blame everything on immigrants. Hunt's gone now. This last from me. Don't let them divide us, you and me. Remember one word, solidarity. Let's stand together. Let's smash austerity.
Hiya, hello. Hiya. My name is Merthyr. I'm going to read a poem today which explores my accent and my identity, really. They said I should be proud of my accent. Its deep-reaching vowels clawing at the dirt, coloured with my ancestors' blood, limping through the centuries with knees curled like mountain tops. My dulcet tones confusing born with born. A grotesque mangling of meanings and context, rendering my tongue a shaman of insight and confusion. I want to rip it out and grind the words, consonants, verbs, nouns, peeling against my weight, rolling around like oranges fallen from a market stall. Their dull thuds echoing my O's and A's. They said I should be proud of my accent, and I am. I sound like my father and grandfather, male lineage coursing through my blood and onto the next, the next, the next, who will not remember me. I am proud of my accent, of the hills, the mountains, the churches, the neglect, the love, the heritage, the diminishing streets, the familiarity. I am proud. Thank you.
My name is Hugh Putner. This poem is called St Clair's, which is a market town in West Wales. Thousands of children were evacuated from London during the Blitz in 1940 as the bombs were dropped on London, and many were sent to safety in Wales and other rural places. Many of these children were homesick, they were lonely, scared and so on. But it must have also been very difficult for the families that took them in. In St Clair's there's a memorial plaque put up by the evacuee children years later as a way of saying thank you. So this poem is connected to that. St Clair's. I went all the way to Wales in the middle of the autumn gales. With London burning and falling down, the train took me out of town. Mum told me to be brave and kind, but I left her and Dad behind. I was scared, felt so alone, so far from my East End home. St Clair's was a whole wide world apart, had a suitcase and a broken heart. A farmer called me a poor lamb, gave me an apple and some bread and jam. This little town was a funny place, cold winds blew on my freckled face. I tried to be so brave and strong, but I didn't think I could be long. They called me the evacuee, labelled with love, never felt so free. Now I'm grown and live far away, but I love St Clair's to this very day. Auntie Jan and Auntie Joan took me in, gave me a home. Well, they spoke in a most peculiar way, but they cared for me, said I could stay. One day we all went to the fair. What they had was mine to share. I learned to speak their mother tongue. Yes, I spoke Welsh when I was young. Well, I missed my mum and dad, you know. I missed old Stepney and Miss Bo, but I didn't miss the bombs and mines, didn't miss the danger signs. I'm a grandad now in Walthamstow, had a market stall, now I take it slow. And it all seems like a distant dream, the green lanes and the splashing streams. They called me the evacuee. I was young, never felt so free. Now I'm grown and live far away, but I love St Clair's to this very day. I have great-grandchildren, 7 and 9. Tomorrow we'll go down the line. St Clair's will be shining in the sun. Yes, and I spoke Welsh when I was young. Thanks.
This poem is called What Do We Say to Our Children? What did you do, Daddy, when the butchers knocked at the door, sharpening their knives to cut with their smiles? What did you do, Daddy? What did you do, Daddy, when the thieves in grey striped suits sat at the cabinet table, ready to cut with their knives? What did you do, Daddy? What did you do, Daddy, when the nurses and doctors worked too many hours and had no more time to look after us or you? What did you do, Daddy? What did you do, Daddy, when all the teachers working too many hours had no more time to teach your children? What did you do, Daddy? What did you do, Daddy, when all those liars with their crocodile smiles did what they did and wanted to do anyway? What did you do, Daddy? What did you do, Daddy, when all the taxes you paid bankrolled the bankers, the liars who thieved our services and skimmed them to the bone? What did you do, Daddy? What will you do, Daddy, now the services are gone and the rich get richer and the poor get sicker and no one's listening to you? What will you do now, Daddy?
Barry Dewey. Good afternoon, I'm Barry. And I'd like to draw a little contrast, if I may, between Merthyr of 1831, Merthyr Rising, Stand Against Injustice, and Merthyr of 2018, which is what this poem is about. It's called We the People. We are not Dylan Thomas. We do go gentle into that good night. We burn and rage
Simon Cowell. We rage against Craig Revel Horde. We ignore the death of 1,000 cats. We are willfully sedated. We are lulled into a stupor. We are wholly apathetic. We look the other way while we are cheated by the bankers. We are shafted by our betters. We are bought and sold for profit. We are forced to take a pay cut. We embrace false propaganda. We should let ourselves get bloody angry. We should make the bastards listen. We should make a stand for justice. We could make things change for the better. We could cause a revolution. We can't be bothered. I'd like to just give a big birthday welcome to a great singer-songwriter, Rob Johnson.